Well, here we are again on another edition of the Water Boys. I'm Shake and Bake here with Rain Man and Divock, breaking down some college football because just recently we had a rematch of the 2006 national title game, the famed Texas-USC matchup. But according to a certain pair of Rain Man, you have quite a qualm with this, so I'm going to kick it over to you, my man. What's going on with that? Why is USC apparently never lost to Texas?
Yeah, I mean, so this happened because the NCAA required that USC vacate games because Reggie Bush was paid by an agent, which, first of all, I think is BS. You know, this happens in pretty much every major program. It's just not really talked about in the NCAA picks and chooses. Whatever. That's besides the point. I think that this is a bigger bitch move than anything Theon Greyjoy has pulled in Game of Thrones, including, spoiler alert, jumping off the boat when Euron said, "Come and get your sister." That is absolutely just, what are you doing? What are you doing? We all know you lost. We saw it. You can look up the results of the game. It happened. Like, you're not 4-0 against them.
I remember exactly where I was when I was watching that game.
Oh, me too.
Exactly where I was.
Me too.
Yeah.
So,
fantastic.
It was a wonderful game. Wonderful game. USC put up quite the battle, but to claim that they didn't lose because they had to vacate those games is absolute BS. But I think it did set the stage for the game where Texas came in and really took it to a very strong USC team. And I think it sets them up for a rivalry in the future just because, it's
already
there's that edge. There's that edge. I mean,
what do you mean a rivalry in the future? It's already a rivalry.
Well, I mean, more games. This was their first matchup since. I think they're going to have more games consistently because it draws a lot more attention.
I'm going to cut you off there, man. I have some inside information because you mentioned Reggie Bush, and I have a source. I'm not going to say who it is, but I heard the best story I've ever heard about Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart when they were ruling Los Angeles, when they were playing USC, and how much of a professional program USC was while they were there. But so how did Reggie Bush meet Kim Kardashian? It was actually Matt Leinart had like 3 chicks, and Kim Kardashian was one of his side chicks. He just handed her off to Reggie Bush.
Wow, that's a smooth handoff.
The smoothest handoff Matt Leinert's ever given. Smoothest one.
Rumor has it that Kim Kardashian still has Reggie Bush's Heisman Trophy.
Did you see it in
the one that had to return?
Did you see it in her bedroom, Chicken Bake?
Oh no, I think it's just hidden way up in her vagina.
Oh.
I mean, Reggie Bush was there first. It seems like the song supposed to hide it.
It seems like it seems like it's a big enough place to hide.
You just hope.
Doubtful. I mean, it's the only thing Reggie Bush has left. That Heisman Trophy. Now that he flamed out of the NFL.
Didn't he have to return it? He had to return it. He returned it.
He had to return everything: the house, the car.
I like to think it's in Kim Kardashian's vagina. That sounds better than him returning it.
I think so. Okay, back to the topic at hand. I went real off topic there. I apologize. What were we talking about? The game, USC Texas, the Vince Young Bowl, where Matthew McConaughey was shown on the sidelines more than Vince Young.
If you look back on the reason it almost is a rivalry is because of how average Vince Young and Reggie Bush's careers ended up being after that game.
Yeah,
like it has to be but it should just be called the Young Bush Bowl.
Madden, though. Right, but Vince Young was on the cover of Madden, so that's not his fault.
I remember when Reggie Bush was drafted second, and everyone thought the Texans were crazy for taking Mario Williams over him. That was like a very legitimate debate back in the day.
I mean, it was more than a legitimate debate, but if you think about Mario, all of them and all 3 of those top picks ended up having some bright spots, I'd say. but flaming out.
Mario Williams
Ridiculous.
has over 100
let's get back on
sacks.
track
Let's
here.
be real.
Hey, let's get back on track here. Forget about Mario Williams. Back on track to the bullshit bowl. Is this the bullshit bowl is now? Because we got USC claiming that the game against Texas didn't count.
Yeah. Well, we all remember it. It was probably the best national title game until this year, and that's coming from an Alabama fan who had to watch Clemson beat them in the last second.
Yeah. That's a very valid
that's just like
opinion.
It's just I don't even know how just own it. Like you lost them 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Own it. That's it.
I mean, sure. It's such a bitch move, especially knowing that USC came in with an advantage, not necessarily an advantage in coaching, because I think Tom Herman is a better coach. He just hasn't instilled what he needs to instill on this Texas team yet. But, I mean, USC is playing at home. They have a sold-out crowd in the Coliseum. They definitely have a better team right now. They definitely have a better quarterback, being that the starting quarterback at Texas, Shane Buechele, didn't even start in this game. And Texas still took it down to the wire because Karma is a cruel, cruel bitch.
2 overtimes.
Yeah, I mean, Texas was
2 overtimes.
Had him on the ropes. And I was watching that game in 45 seconds, and I bet my friend that
their defense had 12 stops that were behind the line or at the line of scrimmage, and that had not happened in the first 2 games for USC. Texas's defense after
Texas playing better than Stanford did.
They did. Oh, absolutely.
It was at least good. It was at least good to see. It was
Stanford's
good to see.
A way better team than Texas will end up.
Absolutely, Texas got crushed by Maryland. First game of the season.
Yeah, we remember that. It was 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they came
good.
within an overtime of beating a USC team that's ranked 4th. And I think that snub might have fired Texas up a little bit. I don't believe in we're coming out and doing everything. I think that Tom Herman's finally getting through to these kids, but that I think this solidifies that this matchup will be played much more often and will become a legitimate rivalry in the future.
Well, once there are only 2 conferences in college football, the USC can play all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now that there's a playoff, at least now top teams have to play against each other to get that signature win in order to get into the playoffs. That's one of the good things.
Well, Texas won't be there.
No,
they
will not.
Well, 2 losses in.
No way.
Oklahoma State.
No. Well, that's a topic for another edition of the Water Boys. Keep listening in to more episodes as we break down the NFL, MLB, NBA, college football, and anything you want to hear about sports, you can hear about here on the Water Boys. Check us out on our next episode.